Hey everybody, I am Rick Campanelli here at the Canadian Film Fest with First Weekend Club with Michelle Ouellet. Ouellet?
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Ouellet. It sounds French to me.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. You have a film in this fest, and it's a beautiful film, Prodigal.
Yes.
I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Out of all the screenings, I think, and don't tell the other directors or producers, I love this one so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That
really
means so much to me.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Give them a little bit of a synopsis or breakdown of what they can expect from Prodigals.
So Prodigals centers around a young man named Wesley who is coming home to his town, Sault Ste. Marie, after being away in the big city, Toronto, for 5 years.
The prodigal son, like that sort of thing.
Exactly. It's like a prodigal son kind of vibe. But everybody thinks that he's this big, successful, big city lawyer. And we find out very early on that actually he isn't anything that he has presented to his friends. And he just really wants to come home and find his way back into the fold. And he has a bunch of secrets that end up really compromising his relationship with the girl he left behind, Jen, played by Sara, and with his friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's just so much more to it, but you have to go see it. It takes turns that I wasn't expecting, but I'm glad you put them in there.
Oh, awesome. Well, I have to give credit to the screenwriter Nicholas Carella for that. Though we did work together on developing it.
He's your husband, so you can take a lot of credit too.
That's right. He basically did what I said. No, I'm just kidding. No, so we tried to think about the characters in a realistic and human way, and try to think about how maybe we would react in certain situations if we weren't, in our best selves, and kind of built it from there.
The cast is amazing. Can you talk about how easy or how difficult it was to get these actors to play these roles?
Well, two of the characters, David Kaye and Jameson Parker, who play Greg and Benny, they actually came to me. Jameson had originated the role of Greg in a stage version. They had come to me wanting to develop this into a filmed version. So they came already attached to it. And then from there, I had known Sara socially in Vancouver, and I thought that she would be an amazing Jen. David Alpay, I was actually a big fan of his from Slings and Arrows, if you remember that show.
Well, back a few years, but yes,
so I reached out to him, and he was awesome.
So good,
he was awesome. And then Kaniehtiio, who I didn't know at all, we have a mutual friend, and he actually facilitated sending the script along to her, and then her and I talked, and we really connected around that character. So it was, and then of course Nicholas, my husband, plays Nips, Sarah's Jen's jilted lover. So it was kind of a mix of working with new people and old friends, and it was phenomenal.
It's interesting because Nips, Michael, your husband, Nicholas, writes the screenplay, but in this movie, he gets beat up pretty bad.
Yes.
Was he looking forward to that shoot that day? Like, why would you you're writing a script. I want someone to punch me in the face really hard. Not that really happened, but to walk us through that.
Well, he actually wasn't going to play that part when he wrote that. He was kind of a later addition. I really wanted him to play that role, and kind of had to do a little bit of finagling with him and jostling to get him in there. But I think for him, and for me, that was really Nips's comeuppance. Nips is the one that initiates it. He spits in Wesley's face. He throws the first punch. So, that was kind of his moment, even though he ends up getting beat up pretty bad. That was kind of his moment to have his spine and to show that he has some teeth and that he's not going to take this lying down. So I really, for me, working with the stunt coordinator, really wanted it to feel graphic and violent and raw. And I wanted the actors to just, like David Alpay is just screaming his head off. He was drenched in sweat. I just, really wanted that moment to feel raw.
It's genuine. Yeah. It's real. It's organic. You gotta answer me this question, Michelle. You're shooting in Sault Ste. Marie. Sault Ste. Marie. You're shooting in Sault Ste. Marie in the dead of winter. Why?
Well, it was for starters, the play was set there. Also, I have lots of friends from Northern Ontario. I grew up hanging out in Northern Ontario with them, so I had a fondness for the Great North. But I have actually a confession to make. It was a 22-day shoot, and we shot 18 days in Vancouver, most of our interiors in Vancouver, and then we shot only 4 days in the Sioux. I loved shooting there. I wish we could have shot there the entire time. I thought it was beautiful. The weather was punishing. It was a cold spell, minus 25.
That's what I'm getting at. Sioux's a beautiful place, as we all know, but in the wintertime, it's very, very cold.
Oh, yeah. It was freezing cold. One of the days, we just had to stop shooting because the camera froze. We're just like, Alexa's being a diva. She's called it. So, we just, the scene in the backyard where they're digging, we couldn't do a turnaround because the camera froze. So, but I think really we had an amazing crew from Ontario that came up with us to shoot that, and some of our keys from Vancouver, and they were all really troopers and really like shepherded us, our Vancouver people, through the cold weather. And I think the footage looks amazing, so it was well worth it.
It looks beautiful. It's a great film, Prodigal. Get a little closer here and now really, really get into that camera and just tell them why it's so important to be a part of a festival like this and what it means to you.
Okay, well, this is my second film at the Canadian Film Fest, and I'm really, really happy to be a part of a festival that celebrates filmmakers. They supported one of my earlier films, my second feature, After Party, and so I was really hoping that I could bring the film back to Toronto and back to this festival, and I'm really excited for our screening on Saturday. All my family's going to be there, all our friends are going to be there, and I just think it's a great community of filmmakers, and I'm really, really feel thrilled that they program Prodigals.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Excellent film you have here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.